The last thing she remembered was hiding in the closet, and now she is being hunted by an invisible killer. It all started when she was just playing hide and seek with her friends. But what could it possibly mean for a ghost to play hide and seek? And who or what was really hunting her? Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be telling you the story of the girl who played hide and seek with a ghost. You won't want to miss this one. So let's get into it. It had been one of those days where nothing seemed to go right. And 17-year-old Emma was feeling particularly irritable. The kind of day where even the sunshine seems mocking. At first, the day had started out so full of promise. She had woken up early, made her favorite breakfast, listened to her favorite music, everything that usually put her in a good mood. But today nothing seemed to work. Everything was just irritating her. Then after school, her mother told her that her father would not be coming to pick her up because he had to work late again. It was these kinds of days that Emma loved the most, because her father would always make sure she got home safely. If he wasn't able to come get her, he would ask her mother to stay late at the office and keep her company until he came back. But not this time. And now she would have to walk home alone through dark, narrow streets and over bridges with street lamps that flickered ominously. When Emma arrived home, she burst into tears. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't stop crying. And she knew exactly why she felt like this. This year would be the first one that she would spend without her father. He passed away in a car accident. In fact, today was his death anniversary. "I miss you," she whispered while kneeling next to his grave. Emma's mom wrapped her arms around her and consoled her. Emma didn't really want her mother to touch her. She was too busy crying. Emma's mother didn't do anything. She just stood there. She stayed there until Emma stopped crying. After a while, she went home. She called her best friend Amelia and asked her to come over. The two of them were inseparable. They had known each other for years and had been best friends since elementary school. When Amelia arrived, Emma told her about the terrible day she'd had. And as a way to lift up her spirits, they decided to play hide and seek. "You're such a chicken," Amelia shouted while running through the house. "Come and find me." Then she hid in the wardrobe. Emma smiled faintly. It would be easy to find Amelia. She searched everywhere except for the closet. How can she be in the closet? She thought. After a few seconds, Emma had found her best friend. "Got you," she said. Amelia ran out of the closet, and both laughed. "Your turn to look for me," she said. Emma nodded, but she couldn't help but feel a little bored. "Let's make it more interesting," Amelia suggested. "We can hide outside," she added. And that's what they did. They went into the backyard. But Emma still wasn't in the mood. She didn't feel like playing. "Okay, then I'll hide, and you can try to find me," Amelia said. And that's what Emma did. She closed her eyes, counted to 60, and opened them. She looked around. Where was Amelia? Emma wondered. The sky had become dark, and the street lights were flickering. "That's it," Emma yelled. "I give up." As she was about to go inside, she noticed a dark figure standing by the old oak tree. She couldn't quite make out the figure, though. Was it a man or a woman? Was it real or just a trick of the light? The figure didn't seem to be moving. Emma shrugged off the strange feeling. Maybe she was just tired. She turned around to go back inside, but suddenly the power went out. The only source of light now came from the flickering street lamp. Emma's heart began to race. She broke into a run. She heard footsteps behind her. She didn't dare look back. She could hear heavy breathing. She could almost feel the presence of the person behind her. When she finally reached the door, she fumbled with her keys. Just as she was about to open it, a cold hand clamped down on her shoulder. Emma screamed and fell to the ground. What was that? Who was it? What did they want? Terrified, she scrambled back, hitting the door with her back. As she slowly turned around, she saw a tall, thin figure. It seemed to be made out of darkness itself. All Emma could see was a pair of glowing red eyes in the darkness. She screamed again, this time louder than before. "Who are you?" she cried out. The figure took a step forward. Emma took a step back. Suddenly, the figure lunged toward her. Emma rolled out of the way just in the nick of time. Emma got up and ran back inside. She slammed the door shut and locked it. But the figure was still there, its eyes boring into hers. Emma screamed and covered her face with her hands. What was that? Then just as quickly as it had appeared, the figure was gone. Emma was left alone in the dark, her heart pounding in her chest. She could still feel the creature's burning gaze on her. As the night wore on, Emma could hear footsteps near her bed. Every time she thought it was getting closer, it seemed to move further away. She could hear whispers, but when she strained to listen, she couldn't make out any words. Sometimes she could hear chains dragging metal moans. In the morning, Emma woke up feeling drained and weak. She wasn't sure if she'd slept at all. When she looked over, she saw that the room was filled with sunlight. Had it all been a dream? She thought. But then she looked down and saw scratches on her arms. They weren't there yesterday. Emma knew that she hadn't dreamed it. The rest of the day she felt uneasy. She could feel eyes on her every move. At night, the torment started again. Emma spent the entire night in her closet. One night, Emma heard a knock on the closet door. She froze. Could it be the creature from her nightmare? She could hear the knock again. This time it sounded closer. Emma pressed her back against the wall. She could hear the knob slowly turning. Emma held her breath as the door creaked open. She squeezed her eyes shut, but she couldn't stop herself from peeking out of the corner of her eye. The door was still open, but she saw no one. Perhaps it was her imagination. But then she heard a voice. "Emma," it said. The voice was soft and feminine, but also very cold. "Emma, let me out." Emma gasped and slammed the door shut. She leaned against it, trying to catch her breath. Then she heard the voice again. "Let me out, Emma. Please," it begged. "I don't want to be here anymore." Emma knew that she should call the police, but she was too scared. What would she tell them? That a ghost was trapped in her closet? They would think that she was crazy. So instead, Emma did something else. She went back to her bed and pretended to sleep. She didn't dare close her eyes, though, afraid that she would miss whatever happened next. But nothing happened. She lay there until morning, and then it happened again. At night, Emma could hear chains dragging and metal moans. She could hear the closet door opening and closing. Sometimes she could hear the ghost's voice. One night, Emma finally worked up the courage to talk back. "Who are you?" she called out. "What do you want?" The voice seemed to come closer. "Let me out," it begged. "Please let me out." For a moment, there was silence. Then Emma heard the voice again. "Thank you, Emma," it said. And then it was quiet. In the morning, Emma got up and went to the closet. She opened the door, but there was nothing there. Was the ghost gone? She hoped so. But she knew that it would come back. Emma's mother noticed that her daughter was acting strangely. She was pale, and she kept looking over her shoulder. "Are you okay, honey?" she asked. Emma hesitated. Should she tell her mother about the ghost? She didn't know. "I'm fine," she said. But her mother didn't believe her. She knew something was wrong. One night, Emma's mother decided to stay up and find out what was going on. She sat in a chair next to Emma's bed, watching her. Just as the first rays of sunlight began to appear, Emma suddenly sat up in her bed. "Mom, I need your help," she said. Her mother could see that she was crying. Emma told her mother about the ghost. At first, her mother didn't believe her. But when she saw the scratches on Emma's arms, she knew that her daughter was telling the truth. "Don't worry, honey," she said. "We'll get rid of that ghost." They prayed together, and then Emma's mother went to the closet. "Get out of here, ghost," she yelled. "Leave my daughter alone." There was a moment of silence. Then Emma's mother heard chains dragging. The closet door opened, and the ghost came out. Emma and her mother screamed. The ghost approached them, its eyes fixed on Emma. "Help me," the ghost whispered. "Help me, and I will grant you 3 wishes." Emma's mother hesitated. She could help the ghost, but what would the price be? Before she could decide, the ghost lunged toward Emma. "No," her mother screamed, and pushed Emma out of the way. The ghost hit the floor and let out a loud bang. Emma's mother looked down at her lap. In her hands, she saw a small, dusty book. Emma picked up the book and opened it. It was filled with strange symbols and words. Suddenly, the room filled with light, and the ghost appeared in front of them. "Thank you," it said. "I am eternally in your debt." The ghost looked at Emma. "Since you helped me, I will grant you a wish," it said. Emma hesitated. What did she want? She thought about her father. She missed him so much. Suddenly, she knew what she wanted. "I want to see my father," she said. The ghost waved its hand, and suddenly Emma was in another place. She looked around. Where was she? Then she saw him. Her father was standing in front of her. "Dad?" she whispered. She ran toward him, but as she reached out to touch him, he vanished. Emma was back in her room. The book was in her hands. She looked up and saw the ghost. "Thank you," she said. The ghost smiled. "You're welcome," it said. "Now I must go. Rest in peace." And then the ghost disappeared. From that day on, Emma never saw the ghost again. Sometimes at night, she could still hear chains dragging and metal moans, but she knew that it was just her imagination. She also knew that she would never forget the ghost that played hide and seek with her. Have you ever seen a ghost? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.